Once upon a time, in a small village in the hills of Tibet, there lived a young man named Tenzin. Tenzin was known for his kindness, intelligence, and strong spirit. He had always been interested in learning about Buddhism and the way of life of monks, but due to his family's financial struggles, he was forced to leave school at a young age and work long hours in the fields. Despite this setback, Tenzin never gave up on his dreams. He spent every spare moment he had studying the teachings of the monks and meditating in the hills. His dedication paid off when a group of visiting monks noticed his devotion and offered to take him under their wing as a student. Without hesitation, Tenzin left his village and began a new life as a monk. He immersed himself in the teachings of Buddha and learned to live a simple, humble life. He spent his days meditating, studying, and performing acts of kindness and compassion for those in need. As Tenzin grew in his spiritual practice, he began to experience a profound sense of peace and contentment that he had never felt before. He realized that the material possessions and worldly pursuits that had once consumed his thoughts and desires were nothing compared to the inner joy and fulfillment he had found through his newfound way of life. But Tenzin's journey was not without its challenges. Living as a monk meant living a life of complete simplicity, with no possessions or luxuries. This was a difficult adjustment for Tenzin, who had grown up in poverty and had always longed for material comforts. It was also a struggle for Tenzin to detach himself from his previous identity and the expectations of his family and community back in his village. He felt torn between his desire to serve others through his spiritual practice and his sense of duty to his family. Despite these challenges, Tenzin remained committed to his path as a monk. He continued to meditate and study diligently, and his compassion and kindness towards others only grew stronger. One day, Tenzin received a message from his old village, informing him that his mother had fallen ill and was in need of medical attention. Tenzin was torn between his desire to help his mother and his devotion to his life as a monk. After much contemplation, he decided to return to his village to care for his mother. Upon his return, Tenzin was warmly welcomed by his family and community, who were amazed at the transformation he had undergone. Tenzin's mother was overjoyed to see her son again and was deeply touched by his selflessness and devotion. As Tenzin cared for his mother, he continued to practice his spiritual teachings, sharing his knowledge and compassion with those around him. His presence brought a sense of peace and harmony to his community, and he became known as a wise and compassionate leader. In the months that followed, Tenzin faced many challenges and obstacles, but his faith and devotion never wavered. He continued to meditate and study tirelessly, and his compassion and kindness towards others only grew stronger. Eventually, Tenzin's mother recovered from her illness, and Tenzin was faced with a difficult decision. He had grown to love his life in the village, surrounded by the love and support of his family and community. But he knew that his true calling lay in his spiritual practice as a monk. After much contemplation and prayer, Tenzin made the difficult decision to return to his life as a monk. He knew that he would miss his family and community dearly, but he also knew that his spiritual